Okey, cikgu kena recordkan balik rupanya. Tadi cikgu tak on dia punya mikrofon. Okey, jadi tapi tak apalah, cikgu akan buat secara ringkas. Okey, jadi kalau you all tengok ini adalah map yang ada untuk tajuk garam. Memang actually this topic qualitative analysis is one of the subtopic hardest part in SOT. Okay, jadi cikgu akan mulakan dulu dengan what is the meaning of qualitative analysis. Okay, if you see here, qualitative analysis shows about what is meaning of qualitative analysis. Series of tests by using physical or chemical analysis. Okay, physical and chemical analysis to to detect cation and anion of certain sort. So that means, as I told you, okay, you can identify what is a cation and anion in certain sort that given. Okay, then this qualitative analysis is classified into physical analysis and chemical analysis. Jadi kualitatif ini terbagi kepada dua. It's up to you to carry out. Okay, jadi untuk yang physical analysis kita akan dapat pasti 5 ion. Okay, iaitu 3 cation dan 2 anion. Okay, pertama sekali kita lihat what is a physical analysis without using reagent, chemical substance. Okay, jadi kita boleh bagikan kepada dua. Yang pertama is about solubility of salt. Okay, case macam mana? For example, I give you white solid, satu pepejah putih. Then you put this small amount of salt given into water. Then after that, you see the solubility. You observe the solubility of salt. If, for example, salt soluble, so you can deduct or you can reject salt that insoluble. Macam contoh, okay, saya bagi, awak dapat kena pasti dia larut. Bila dia larut, it's not lead to carbonate, okay, because all that salt insoluble except lead to nitrate. Jadi mungkin lead to nitrate lah, tapi lead carbonate, lead sulfate, lead chloride tak boleh. Okay, even for carbonate salt also cannot accept SPA. Jadi mungkin garam tu sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate, tapi yang magnesium carbonate, calcium carbonate is impossible. So means for many type of salts, we can make it the narrow become choices. Ikan jadikan choices to become narrow. Itu function kita nak kurangkan kandidatnya. Okay, so we can look at the solubility of salt. Means we don't have to use any chemical reagent. Okay, then after that kita tengok pula color. Okay, color kalau you tengok yang dalam tu yang saya bagikan memang dalam tu jadual pening. Okay, jadi saya harap yang solubility ni you can remember all lead salts insoluble except lead to nitrate. All carbonate salt insoluble except SPA. And then all nitrate salt soluble. Okay, all nitrate salt soluble. Jangan masa lah. You nampak saja NO3 larut lah. Semua garam, all sodium, potassium, ammonium salt soluble. Okay, and all chloride salt soluble except SPA. SPA means lead to chloride, silver chloride, mercury chloride insoluble. And all sulfate salt, okay, soluble except pembaca, lead sulfate, barium sulfate, calcium sulfate. Okay, that's all. Okay, untuk solubility. Okay, but also we can look at the color of certain salt that given. Okay, for example, yang ini saya pecahkan kepada 3. Okay, 3 maksudnya, okay, you akan lebih nampak secara systematic. Okay, I classified this color into two different paths, laluan. We have copper compound, okay, we have colored ion, aqueous, okay, colored ion, aqueous, okay, and then we have metal oxide. Okay, first we look at the copper compound. In copper compound, okay, copper compound produce 3 various type of color. Okay, we have copper to oxide, which is black, copper to carbonate, which is green, copper to aqueous, which is blue. Okay, for example, I give you certain salt. This is a blue color. So brown color, teacher, is it copper sulfate. Okay. Then also we can classify this color into colored ion, which is aqueous. Colored ion means, first I give you in form of solid. In form of solid. The solid here, blue. And when we dissolve in water, the aqueous also blue. Same with iron 2 and iron 3. So means this color of ion Cu2 plus, iron 2 and iron 3 is specifically for copper to ion, iron to ion and iron 3 ion. Okay. Then we have metal oxide. Okay, metal oxide, which is copper oxide, is a black color. Zinc oxide is a white color when it's cold, yellow color when hot. Lead oxide, yellow color when it's cold, brown color when it's hot. Because this metal oxide is very important, you need to remember, because we will use them in another physical analysis that we call it effect of heat. Okay, that's why you need to remember the color of this compound again. And you can see here all other ion form white solid and colorless ion. So I think it is not actually it's not difficult to remember certain color, because it's not so many. Okay, just blue, green, brown, and then they're quite difficult for the metal oxide. But the zinc oxide, white when cold, yellow hot. Lead oxide, yellow when cold, brown color when hot. That's all. Okay, then after that we go to the effect of heat. Okay, for the effect of heat, only two salt decompose when it's heated strongly. Sulfate and chloride salt do not decompose. Do not decompose. As you can see as is this diagram, when we heat something salt here, it will release certain fume that refer to anion, and the residue means sisa yang ada dalam test tube itu refer to cation. And that's why we just only can detect or identify cation 3, Cu2 plus, Zn2 plus, lead ion, and the gases that form here just nitrate and carbonate. Chloride sulfate cannot, because it won't this salt it will not decompose. Now what happened here? For as you can see, if I I heat nitrate salt. Nitrate salt, it is classified into two different types of compounds. First we have electropositive metal that form nitrate. Sodium nitrate will not decompose completely, because as I told you, this sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate is an electropositive metal. When it form compound, this compound so stable, and then it will not decompose easily or completed. That's why as you can see here, it just only produce sodium nitrate become sodium nitrate become sodium nitrate. What is the difference between nitrate and nitrate? Nitrate O3, nitrate NO2, the less number of oxygen. Then here we have our oxygen gas. So I can show you the video about this. The video about this. So wait a minute, is it can come out or not? So now we look here. Oh, I think I cannot show you the video how we can. So that's why I put fraction here to make sure the number of oxygen for left and right side is equal. Then we look at the other metal which is not electropositive, zinc nitrate. It will decompose to become metal oxide. The metal oxide here, actually, the metal oxide here inside the the test tube, or the boiling tube, and then the nitrogen dioxide gas we can detect, we can observe brown fume. Brown fume release. Then that's why you can put a moist blue litmus paper, it turn to red color. And then oxygen, you can use a glowing wooden splinter, it will rekind it. Same cases for the electropositive metal here, but you need to remember this reaction for electropositive compound will not produce nitrogen dioxide gas. So no wonder you will not detect any brown fume. Brown fume for other than electropositive metal, okay, like zinc nitrate, lead nitrate, calcium nitrate, magnesium nitrate. Okay, actually magnesium nitrate, calcium nitrate, yes, we still can detect the anion, the nitrate, but the cation cannot, because as I told you, zinc nitrate, it will decompose to become zinc oxide. The color of zinc oxide, as I told from previous explanation, is a unique color. Okay, yellow color when it's hot, white color when it's cold. Same with lead nitrate. Okay, lead oxide, brown color when it's hot, yellow color when it's cold. Okay, copper dioxide is a black color. So when you heat, okay, let's say zinc nitrate, which is white color, okay, white color, and then zinc oxide, it will turn to, okay, yellow when hot and white when it's cold. So it's unique for zinc oxide. Of course, if you heat, you can see brown fume. You put a moist blue vapor, turn to, okay, blue to red, is a nitrogen dioxide gas. Confirm it came from nitrate. Then if you look at the color, white color turn to yellow when hot, white color when it's cold, is a zinc oxide. So that means when it's zinc oxide, of course, this is zinc nitrate. Simple like that. But if we use magnesium nitrate and calcium nitrate, we just only see the brown fume, but the color of residue is still the same. White color change to red, not change, also white color. So how come we want to detect whether it's a magnesium ion, calcium ion? That's why the cation that we can identify just only zinc ion, lead ion, and copper ion. Okay, and for the carbonate, simple. Okay, the device or the apparatus is like this. Okay, please make sure the end of the delivery tube here is bubbles or pass through into lime water. Okay, that means you have a bubble gas here, and here no need to put until here, because here is a solid, this one is a solid. Okay, and then for electropositive metal, as you can see, okay, no reaction, no changes, because it will not decompose. As I told you, electropositive metal, when it's formed, it will form a stable compound. So this compound is so stable, so when it's heated strongly, sometimes it will not decompose easily and complete. Okay, for example, this one is not decomposed for electropositive metal, but for others, zinc carbonate, you can see that it will decompose to become, okay, metal oxide. So here is a metal oxide, and then the gas will pass through into the lime water. You can identify that gas by passing through the lime water. Actually, lime water, okay, what is a lime water? Lime water actually is a calcium hydroxide. Okay, this is a lime water. Lime water is a calcium hydroxide solution. So when we pass through the gas CO2, it will form CaCO3 plus H2O. That's why your lime water turn milky or cloudy, because gas are calcium carbonate insoluble. So that's why when lime water become cloudy, of course, is caused by gas carbon dioxide. So I can show you here, okay, the reaction here. Okay, so that's all for physical analysis. Okay, we have a physical analysis. So I think okay, this is when I can, okay, show you. Okay, so I put open. Okay, can. Okay, so this is an example of the carbonate. You can see that, okay, okay, the green color turn to black color, and lime water turns cloudy. Confirm it gas from carbon dioxide. Okay, and then if we look at the heating of zinc, Okay, we look here, is zinc of zinc. Okay, I open. Okay, see that? Okay, zinc nitrate is a white color. Okay, is the color bubble gas produced. See, slowly the white color turn to yellow when it's hot. Okay, and then you see that here, okay, lime water turns cloudy, means gas carbon dioxide produced. So it's a carbonate salt. Okay, it's a zinc carbonate, actually, zinc carbonate. And then the white color turn to yellow, is a refer to the color of zinc oxide. Okay, color of zinc oxide. And finally, when we cool down, this yellow color will become, okay, white color. Okay, it's become white color. So this one is in hot condition, and this one is a cold condition, white color. Okay, so another video. Okay, this is okay. So what happens if we heat, like say this one? Okay, electropositive compound. Okay, let's say here sodium nitrate. You cannot detect any sign of, okay, any sign of brown film because no nitrogen dioxide gas produced. It just decompose to become metal nitrate. Okay, sodium nitrate become sodium nitrate. Then oxygen gas, we use glowing wooden splinter. Okay, this one is glowing wooden splinter. Then we insert the glowing wooden splinter into test tube. You see that glowing wooden splinter rekindled. Okay, kayu tu api dia nak mati dia hidup balik, hidup balik. Itu maksudnya kayu uji berbara menyala. Menunjukkan kehadiran oksigen. Okey, itu 3 video yang saya dapat tunjukkan untuk physical analysis. Saya rasa inilah, ni kalau kita nak detect nitrogen dioxide gas, you see here nitrogen dioxide gas, biasanya kita akan gunakan moist blue litmus paper. Okay, so it will turn to red color. See here, we have 2 type of litmus paper. Red is negative, still red, but the blue one here turn to red, moist. You see, so this is a test for nitrogen dioxide gas. Okay, I think that's all for the physical analysis. Okay, but it's not complete. Just only 5 cation. Okay, and then now, okay, then after that we go to, okay, chemical analysis. Okay, what is a chemical analysis? Chemical analysis, we use chemical reagent. Okay, and then why we need to use chemical analysis? Because we still have more cation and anion that we want to identify. Because from physical analysis, we just only can identify 3 cation, copper 2 ion, zinc ion, lead ion, and 2 anion, okay, nitrate and carbonate. Okay, for chemical analysis, we use chemical reagent. Okay, and then actually, okay, we have bad news and good news for cation and this anion. Okay, first the cation here. Okay, the good news here, we just use same reagent, sodium hydroxide solution and ammonia solution. And why we need to use this hydroxide ion? Okay, actually, when metal ion that exists in certain salt meet the hydroxide ion, react with hydroxide ion that added into test tube, it will form metal hydroxide. It will form precipitate. But we need to add this sodium hydroxide until excess. You need to stir, shake, and then you need to remember the solubility of precipitate in excess, sodium hydroxide and ammonia. And before that, you need to make sure you just use 1 cm cube of solution. Okay, and then if I look at this, I want to show you, okay, actually many textbook or revision book, they just give you the result like this in table. You see that, okay, they are, okay, magnesium, we have a unique pattern of the result, and it's very difficult to identify what is certain salt here. Okay, so for me, I will show you my style of how I can classify them, okay, according in systematically. First, okay, for how many cation that we need to identify? 11. Okay, first I can classify them to do not form precipitate, just exclusive for spar. Okay, spar actually, as you know, if I have sodium chloride, you add sodium hydroxide, so we still have sodium hydroxide, so that's why we have no precipitate. Okay, it form colorless solution, and for sure it can be ammonium, potassium and sodium, ANA or spar. And for ammonium ion, okay, if you want to detect, you can use Nestle reagent. It turn to brown. But if you not turn to brown, maybe it's sodium ion and potassium ion. That's all. But you cannot differentiate sodium ion and potassium. The syllabus will not ask you to differentiate. Just sodium ion or potassium ion. That's all. But ammonium, yes, we can use Nestle reagent. Okay. And then for form colored precipitate, okay, I want to show you here something.